Friends, by Jehovah's graciousness, we'd like to welcome you and thank you for joining with us on this historic day to congratulate those who are graduating from the official Hindi class of Jehovah's Witnesses in the Western United States. To have Jehovah's blessings on our today's activities, we'd like to invite our Brother Cannabis, the service overseer for the Panorama City congregation, to offer up a prayer to Jehovah for us. Again, we'd like to welcome you and appreciate all the fine support that you have given to the graduates of the Hindi class. This has been a 20 weeks accelerated language training that has been organized by the U.S. branch of Jehovah's Witnesses, and its purpose was to train willing publishers to reach out to the people of India who speak Hindi and announce to them about the true God, Jehovah. As many of you are aware, the branch has been recommending us to reach out to people of all sorts for some time now, to Kingdom Ministries, through Watchtower, and even through direct letters. They have reminded us that we truly are living in the last days, and the good news of the God's kingdom of Jesus Christ, which will wipe out the tears and pain from mankind, must be preached to all those in all the nations with a sense of urgency. This Hindi class has been our humble, obedient response to that scriptural counsel. Approximately 6 million people speak Hindi around the world as either a first language or a second language, and most of them do not know the name of the true God, Jehovah. It is ranked as one of the 5 most widely spoken languages of the world. We have a lot of work to do. And with the English, it is the official language of India. The branch has researched and put together a language training curriculum with accelerated learning in mind, as we've mentioned, and being such methods, some of the methods that we have utilized to train the students have been a little bit different from traditional classroom instruction. Today, as part of our ceremony and as the final exam of the students will demonstrate things that they have learned using these modern techniques approved by the branch. So with anticipation, we look forward to their presentation. However, before that, we would like to hear from Brother Colanders to speak to us about the importance of this Hindi work.
It's a pleasure to be here and see the growth of the Hindi group, which no doubt will soon be a congregation in the near future. I remember some scriptures that I used to read years ago, and I used to wonder about their fulfillment. One is Zechariah 8:23, where it says 10 men will grab hold of the skirt of a Jew, and there it says, "We will go with you, people, for we have heard that God is with you." Revelation chapter 7, verse 9, where a great crowd of people of all the nations stand before the throne and before the Lamb. And that scripture had some meaning years ago when I came into truth, but in the last 15 or 20 years it's taken on greater meaning, because we see foreign congregations, foreign speaking congregations springing up all over the world. And I've had the pleasure of working with a number of them. Worked with the Greek, the Russian, the Arabic, the Armenian, and then of course with the Hindi group when it first got started. And I realized that when you work with a foreign language group, it takes a lot of self-sacrifice, a lot of hard work. And you brothers and sisters that are working with the foreign language groups are to be commended. I looked up a couple of points. There's one point in the 79 Awake on learning a language. It says here, certain individuals think that some people are especially gifted with regard to learning another language. Therefore, they reason that these persons are able to pick up a new tongue very quickly, without much difficulty. There is some truth in that. However, the following principle is true. He that sows sparingly will reap sparingly, and he that sows bountifully will reap bountifully. Accordingly, if you regularly apply yourself to a study of the new language, doing so on a regular basis, day after day, you'll see good results. So it's talking about sweat and hard work. Isn't that true? Another way said this. Basically, there are no shortcuts in gaining the mastery of a language. Even those who know numerous languages will acknowledge that it required real effort to learn. When asked whether there's a fast, painless way of learning languages, a Scotsman who knows 44 languages, imagine that. No. He says, I've learned them in the orthodox fashion by going to courses and doing a lot of study on my own. There's no magic about it. For a different language, you have to work just that much harder. And so I appreciate what you're going through, because I worked hard to learn another language. It was a lot of study. I used to pray to Joel and told him to pour out spirit on me so I could speak the language, but it didn't work that way. I had to study, and I know you folks are doing that. And just to give you some information here, you know, the governing body appreciated that brothers needed to learn other languages. They appreciated that 15 years ago. 15 years ago. Now our literature is in, what, 450 languages? Right here in Los Angeles, or Southern California, can you believe that there's 1 million Chinese, 1 million Iranians, 1 million Russians? I didn't get the count on the Indians. I got on the internet, but I couldn't find it. But I knew there were many Indians. Right, there's many in Santa Monica, where I'm at now. And it seems as though this is a season for Indian people, Hindi people, Punjabi people learn the truth. We had one brother working with us in the Farsi, the Iranian Persian congregation, and he had so much interest in Hindi and Punjabi, he left the Farsi, and now he's working in Texas with a group that's working hard to become a congregation. We have another brother in Farsi who's contacting Farsi-speaking people as well as Indian people down in Orange County, and he's splitting up his time between the two groups, so you have a lot of work to do. You haven't got to Orange County yet, or San Diego, even to Santa Monica. We've been waiting for you to get there, but in the meantime, you're doing a good work here. I appreciate the hard work. I know some of you traveled many miles to come and support the group, and now you've been blessed, and you're going to continue to be blessed, because this is the day for people of foreign languages to learn the truth. I think of a scripture in conclusion, Luke chapter 10. It's a verse that we're familiar with, but I think of it in terms of the foreign language, such as your Hindi group and congregation, where Jesus said, verse 2, he said, he began to say that the harvest is great, indeed, but the workers are few. That's true. A lot of Hindi people to reach in Southern California. Therefore, beg the master of the harvest to send out workers into his harvest. So we want to encourage others to join this group. Now, just some other points, since I worked with some foreign language groups. You're on your way soon to have a special event. I'll tell you why. Once a congregation is formed and recommended, then your circuit overseer will write a number of letters to the foreign language desk suggesting a special event, because you have a congregation and you have groups throughout the area. And once you get a special event, then that will give you more notoriety and more people to see that the Hindi congregation is on the map, and they'll start joining you. Then after that, you'll write a letter to the branch and ask that you have a circuit assembly. You might have to send 2 or 3 letters in, and eventually they'll give you a circuit assembly. And after that, you're on the way to a partial district convention, because right now, the Farsi has just had their first circuit assembly in the United States, and then they've also given us permission, I didn't think they would, to have a partial district convention in the middle of August, where they'll handle 24 parts, and then the other parts will be given by way of translators. So you brothers and sisters in this Farsi group are on your way, but continue to work hard and continue to pray to the Master to send out more workers. Now we'll give our attention to their chairman.